You're back with your girls, Meesa and Meah from You Already Know. It's M&M Live Radio. And as you all know, it's February here on the show where we have a new male guest each week all month long. And we have our final February guest on the airwaves with us right now.
Yes, sir. That's right, Meesa. One of them is an OG in the hip-hop game, and the other is a force to be reckoned with in the Afrobeat world. These well-respected artists made a cross-continental connection and have created a dynamic collab album entitled Bridges. And listen, we're going to talk to the masterminds behind the music right here, right now. We want to welcome Limoblaze and T.R.U.T.H to the show. Fellas, how are you feeling?
Hey, fantastic.
Listen, we're so happy to have you. Listen, we're so happy to have you guys. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to hang out with us here on M&M Live Radio.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Now, let's go ahead and dive deep into this, okay? Now, T.R.U.T H, you are always doing so many different things and bring different things to the music industry, okay? Now, how did the idea of you and Limoblaze working on an Afro-gospel collaborative project together even come about?
Well, you know, I have had the privilege of traveling, touring on the continent of Africa since 2007. So I think I've been there about 14, 15 times, toured about 35 different countries on the continent. And I remember vividly in 2014, in transit on my way to I don't remember what city it was, but I was having a conversation with a couple of the kind of lead guys out there. And I said, you know what? It's a couple of things that I want to do. Because in my travels, I was seeing how amazing the talent was out there. Like there was so much talent that nobody knew about on this side. So I said, you know what? I want to do two things. I want to put together a body of work that's reflective of my global experience, because it's one thing to create music from the vantage point of, you know, the United States of America, and it's a completely other thing to create music from the vantage point of different places in the world. So I wanted to do that. But the second thing that I wanted to do, which is where Bridges kind of comes in, is I wanted to find a way to use my influence and my leverage. Sorry about that. I wanted to find a way to use my influence and my leverage to kind of prop up some of the artists that I saw were diamonds in the rough. And Limoblaze was just, as you can hear, like the more you witness him, the more you experience him, the more that people are beginning to realize this dude is, as stated, a force. And so I think that what this project did was allow for that opportunity.
No, I think you're absolutely right. One thing I love the most is the fact that you guys are from two totally different genres. And people wouldn't probably necessarily expect it, but however, it's like a match made in heaven when you hear the project as a whole. So I want to ask the both of you, what brought you to the title Bridges for the project?
You want to shoot, Blaze?
Okay, let me pick it up from there. First of all, to be fair, we are not exactly entirely from two different genres. I am very hip hop. I grew up. Yeah, I'm very hip hop.
Let them know.
Let them know, Blaze.
I am. I grew up on T.R.U.T.H and Lecrae, so like I'm like the biggest fan of T.R.U.T and Lecrae. Listen to everything. So I'm very much hip hop. Most of my earlier records were hip hop albums that I was making. But yeah, Afrobeat is also my thing. And yeah, about why we named the album Bridges is, I remember when we started creating, we're having these conversations about what we wanted to achieve with this project. And if you look at the cover art of the project and listen to the body of work, it very well tells you what we're trying to achieve. So first of all, it was trying to like join two continents together, like two separate words together. That's like a bridge linking two separate words together. I'm out here in Africa. T.R.U.T is out there in the States. It's like two entirely different worlds. Most of y'all in the States have no idea what Africa is like, or what is happening in Africa. So yeah, it's like two entirely different worlds. And we tried to do that. And then it was like a lot of it was, if you listen to the album, some of the teams, some of it stayed on the side of reconciliation. So like this album was meant to be like a bridge that reconciles man back to the first love, to God. And then there was like a song about race in it. So that also served this purpose. So it was just all about bringing different worlds together, different world views, and really setting the stage for a conversation to be had.
And I love that you said that. And I know for a fact that there's so many other people that have been showing y'all some crazy love when it comes to this project, because when Bridges released, it hit the trending charts on Twitter and hit #1 worldwide. Y'all, huge congratulations on that. Now, Limoblaze, when you saw that, what was really going through your mind, like seeing all this support and love coming from your fans and supporters?
Yeah, so personally, I've always had a very energetic set of fans. So I thought I was used, like, so as an artist, I'm used to my fans showing support. Yeah. But the levels Bridges hit, it was an entire, because I remember, I don't know who sent me the charts about it being #1 worldwide. I don't know if it was T.R.U.T.H or if it was Mac. I don't remember who sent it to me, but one of you sent it to me and I saw it. I didn't react to it at first because I was like, now I have to check this for myself. I had to be sure before I said anything about it. So immediately I went on Google and started checking out the charts, searching it for myself, and I saw it and I was like, whoa, like above Wizkid. Like, whoa. So like that for me, and then waking up that morning and then seeing it trending, like maybe 2-3 days to the album, it was trending in Uganda. And so it trending in Uganda, first of all, I was like, whoa, like this is not even my country. I mean, it's in Africa and I know I have a huge following there, but it's not my country. So each trending there was like, yo, I was amazed. But then each trending in Nigeria, because Nigeria is huge, man. It's like really, really huge. So if a thing is going to trend in Nigeria, it means it really had an impact. So waking up and seeing it on the trend table, it's like, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. Listen, real talk for real. Because I feel like it's always one thing to always see, like, you know, knowing that you have fans and seeing the streams and everything. But, like, you know, to also, like, you know, see that it's always so strong, even like with every project and every song and things like that. I think that's just like a huge congratulations to y'all. Listen, guys, your girls, M&M, are having February here on M&M Live Radio, where we're having a male guest each week all month long. Yes. And we got the T.R.U.T.H and Limoblaze, and we're talking all about their collab album, Bridges. Now, one thing I love is that you guys have these two genres and you brought them together to make the album. T.R.U.T H, I want to ask you, what was it like for you to immerse yourself into the Afrobeat genre, and what do you love most about that style of music?
You know, it was a lot of fun. If anybody knows me as an artist, I can't sit still too long. I get bored really easy, especially kind of having been in this for 20 plus years, you know, 10 plus albums. I lost track after 10, so whatever it is now, you have to tell me. But I bore really easy, and I have to, which essentially just means that I have to continue to kind of push the envelope for myself. I have to continue to stretch myself. It's just part of what keeps it exciting for me. Part of what I love about this art form is that there's so many different things that you can do with it. If you think about hip hop, it's radically different from really any other genre of music in that it has the ability to kind of morph into any other genre of music in a way that no other genre can. So that's part of what I love about the art form. So for me, it was really it stretched me a bit. You know, I had to sit with it just to kind of get into the skin of it, because I think that's part of my process. You know, kind of approaching music as a blank canvas, not going to it kind of thinking this is what I'm gonna do, this is how I want to do, this is gonna be my cadence, this is gonna be my flow, I have to approach it like a blank canvas. So, but once I got it, I feel like I got it.
Yeah, for sure, you definitely did.
It was an exciting process for me. It's crazy now, all the music I receive now, nobody sends me beats anymore, like hip hop music. Everybody now sends me Afro beats. Like, can you get on this? Can you get on this? So it's been fun. I've been enjoying this part of my journey.
And we can truly tell, because listening to the project back, especially as a whole, you were skating on the beat, sir. Okay, you were going all the way in, and I could tell that, listening to The Truth from, his previous projects to listening to it now, you actually immersed yourself in it. You had a lot of fun in it, and you can tell that you truly enjoyed being on the project. So I know that I enjoyed that also.
Yeah, for real.
Now, Limoblaze, I want to talk to you really quick. As you and Truth were preparing to drop this new Afro gospel album to the world, at the same time, so crazy, the people of Nigeria were faced with fighting to disband the rage and injustice from the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, also known as SARS. I know that a lot of us remember what happened last year, and a lot of us remember how, this caused a lot of protests to break out and grab the national attention that it truly deserved. But with all of that going on, how were you able to balance being an artist but also still be present at the same time for the country of Nigeria?
Oh, well, it was a crazy time. And so for me, it was really about just asking God, where do I fit in all of this? What am I supposed to be doing at this point? Because I didn't know if I wanted to protest. And so personally, I'm the kind of person that I don't like to go anywhere if I don't expressly hear God telling me to go there. So at the start of all of this, I stayed away a lot from the protest ground because I didn't know what to do. It was crazy. And I remember that one night, it just happened. And basically it was God telling me what to do. And I sent a tweet about doing a prayer walk, and I received a lot of backlash for it. A lot of curses were rained down on me. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it anyway. God said do it, so I'll do it. And crazy thing, it happened. We did the first one not knowing how this was going to work. I remember people calling me a day before the prayer walk, asking me, "Oh, how many people are you expecting?" I'm like, I just counted my friends who I knew were my prayer partners, and I knew that they were going to be there. I was like, okay, maybe 15, 20 people, or maybe 30 at most. And then showing there and seeing over 500 people coming out just to pray, it was crazy. That blew up like crazy. And then I had the lead in to tell people to do it all over the country. And it went crazy. So for me, during that season, that was where God wanted me to be. And that was what God wanted me to be doing. So I did that effectively. And then when it comes to music, I've made music so much that I do not know how to separate music from my daily life. So I can have the craziest of day and still make music. Because it's just way, way, way too part of my DNA already. So I can pretty much say I had a good balance because I was acting in God's will, and that was very refreshing for me.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm glad that you were obedient. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that you were able to stand with your country and be able to have your voice be heard, not only in music, but even when it comes to the issues that go on in your backyard, So I'm very happy that, you're safe, and even that you were able to, partake in all of that. But I got to be honest with you guys. I feel like this project is so necessary, not just the music, but also just the conversation of building bridges as a whole. You know what I'm saying? We're in crazy times right now and unprecedented and things like that. There are so many different topics, building the bridge of the gap from the church to the streets, and I feel like some communities, if we're so divided. Before we wrap up, I want to ask you guys, what do you feel like it would take for us to bridge these gaps that we see in our world today? Truth, you can start if you want.
Well, I just want to also just add that we're really excited about the splash that Bridges has made, and how the trajectory now that we're on, and the trajectory that Limo was on. In fact, he didn't stop there. Like you said, music is such a big part of it's just part of his DNA. He didn't stop there. Limo's still going. He got more energy than I do to do music right now. So he said he got 4 more albums, just waiting to be released. But he just released a single called Mind yesterday. And so then the thing that I love about Mind that's even different from Bridges is that he tells a personal story about redemption in his own life. So hopefully he gets the chance to talk about that. To answer your question, I think that it obviously it starts with the conversation. I think Yeah, one of the challenges I think really just with human nature is that we have a hard time finding the middle. Naturally, people are extreme, and I think that the pendulum tends to swing far left and far right because extremes are comfortable. It's more comfortable to be black and white than to kind of find the gray or to live in the tension. And I think that when it comes to all of these issues of reconciliation, whether it be social or ecclesiological or whatever, or racial, ethnic, or I think that the entire, all of it comes down to the middle. In other words, we literally need to be doing everything. What we're finding right now is that there's a lot of like criticism on every side. For the person who's a thought leader, who's just espousing philosophies and ideas about the best way to approach this, the activist points their finger at the ideologue and says, "Why you just sitting at home talking? You need to be out here in these streets." For the person, for the person who is a prayer warrior, and they're leading the charge in prayer, they sometimes tend to look at the activist and say, you ain't on your knees, get on your knees.
Right, they both point the finger at each other, right?
Yeah. And I think what that ends up doing is causing more harm than good. We're really, if we reconciled all of even our emphasis, like it's each group, each person has a different point of emphasis in this fight. But if we can reconcile our emphasis first, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think then we can begin the process of actually reconciling the things that we're fighting for. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So I think that that reconciliation kind of has to really begin internally. And then the natural outworking of the reconciliation that we have amongst ourselves as a church, if we stop pointing fingers and become more complementary in how we're working together with one another, that is where the change will truly, the process of change will truly begin. So foundationally, I think that's where it starts. I have more to say, but I'm gonna pass the ball.
No, that's good. That's good. So Limoblaze, same question. Like, what do you think it'll take for, the bridges to actually, come together, bridging the gap between, the church and the streets and different things of that nature?
Well, I think it's pretty much what T.R.U.T.H said, and I'm just probably going to phrase it as we need to have more dialogues and less monologues.
Wow.
Because you're supposed to be conversations happening, but it's really just one person talking like they're talking to a wall and really not wanting to hear what the next person is saying. And so more dialogues and people being able to respectfully come to these dialogues and air what they have to say and listen to what the next man has to say. And also even as the church needs to be able to come to a place where it is ready to have these conversations, listen to the pain and the hurt of the people that have been hurt by the church, and not in any way invalidate their experiences. Most times, this is the problem. Someone comes like, "Hey, I have this, I went through this, yada, yada," and it's like, "Oh no, it's not supposed to." We as the church, we naturally always want to get into this preachy stance, like we want to preach to you, and it really isn't how it's supposed to be. I genuinely think it should always begin with, "Let me hear you out. Let me hear your pain. I want to understand where you're hurting." Even with the issue of race and how the church navigates that space, it should really be about, we want to hear you out. We want to understand your pain. We probably are in a place where we don't understand it, but we are open to actually try to understand your pain and really just have dialogues and really operate everything from 1 Corinthians 13, love. Like love, that is the most important thing at the end of the day. The love that you have for the next person, regardless whether or not they're Christians, regardless whether or not they're saved, but love for every living, breathing human being that God made. Because whether you like it or not, God loves everybody.
Yeah.
Saved or not, He does love everybody. So I feel like love is the base of every conversation that should be had. Love should drive and be the guiding principle for every conversation, which is necessary. Conversations should be had, but love should be the driving factor for all of it.
Man, love that you
more
had
dialogues, less monologues. I'm gonna tweet that later.
The gym. Listen, this is what we're doing in 2020. We're building bridges all 2021. Okay, that's exactly what we are doing. Listen, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on this week's show. But before you go, give everyone your socials so that they can stay connected with you. Truth, we'll start with you.
My socials are T.R.U.T.H on duty. T.R.U.T.H on duty. That's the Ebonic way. D-A. On duty.
There you have it, man. Limoblaze, give them your socials one time.
Oh, yeah. So for me, Instagram, it's Limoblaze _. Limoblaze is spelled Limoblaze _. And for Twitter, it is Limoblaze without the underscore. Facebook, Limoblaze.
Listen, guys, make sure you're following T.R.U.T.H and Limoblaze on all social media and go check out their album Bridges. It's available everywhere digitally.
Absolutely. Now, guys, we are so happy that you guys were our guests today. The album is phenomenal, and we are so grateful to see you two talented artists come together to create a really dope project such as Bridges. Thanks again for being on the show, and just know that you've always got our support here on M&M Live Radio. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
M&M, y'all the best. Let's go.
We appreciate you, family. You so much. We appreciate the both of you. Now, to all of our listeners out there, please keep it where you got it, because we have some new music from T.R.U.T.H and Limoblaze right here, right now.
That's right. That's right. Here's the title track from T.R.U.T and Limoblaze's album Bridges. Listen, jam to this one, and we'll be right back. You're listening to You Already Know.
It's M&M Live Radio.